So, in continuation to these regulatory requirements for drug approval, in next part we will discuss about various non-clinical drug development. Then its uh, pharmacology, safety pharmacology, toxicology, and some various approaches for this pharmacological development. So, in regulatory requirement, earlier we discussed about various regulatory teams. They are involved. Preclinical, clinical studies are carried out. Then product come into the market. After product came into the market, they went for the post-market survey. Some changes are carried. If there is some lacuna in the product, that changes is uh, made, and again product come into the market. So there are, this is the next part in relation to that non-clinical drug development. When we talk about this drug development, the drug discovery industry typically follows one of two models to identify hits and lead compounds. Okay, they are, number one is the phenotype or the physiological drug discovery, and then the target based approach. When we talk about this physiology or the phenotype, substance which they develop in their lab is characterized to in accordance to their physiological effects. Say they don't know they are having, they not targeted that we have to prepare anti-diabetic drug. The substance they got, they will study its pharmacological activity, and if they found that it is the hypertensive, so they work over that hypertensive segments. Means physiological effect based upon the disease relevant assay developed using basic biological and disease knowledge on clinically effective drugs. Then next is the target based approach. Here they are having some targets that we have to work over that anti-hypertensive segment or anti-diabetic segment. So they target such types of segments, and they work over that, they work. So the sites where the substance will bind act promoting its biological activity, they get, here they study in this targeting. So the non-clinical or preclinical, here we can say that the non-clinical what we can say it is the preclinical development is primarily aims to identify candidate therapy for the greatest possibility of success, assay of safety, and build solid scientific base before transition into the clinical development phase. Means initially in the lab they go for various study and they have concrete reason to go forward for that clinical development, means preclinical and clinical. So at this stage, candidate compound is supposed to meet the non-medical objectives, including defining the intellectual property rights, that is the patentability are there, and making enough medical products available for the clinical trial. This phase is complex, time consuming, and regulatory driven. In this phase, pharmacodynamics and pharmacokinetics and toxicology data of the candidate compound is identified before administered into the human being. So all these study may be carried out in vitro, in vivo, in computer. In vivo means using some animals other than humans. Okay, ex vivo study is also there. So they develop this data initially in the lab for that particular segment of the drug, and then they found sufficient or satisfied reason results, they went for this clinical study. In addition to the data from non-clinical studies is used to redefine, consolidate, and add information to update the safety profile of the product at the time of registration and during the life cycle of the medicinal product. So what they do, in addition to data from non-clinical study, they are got, they used to redefine, consolidate, and add information. They get data, they consolidate data, they add some information time to time. The whether if during the study they found some uh, more pharmacological activity increasing the dose or toxicity increasing the dose. So they update their data. So here we can say that the safety profile, है ना? Because if toxicity is there, they limit the dosing. Likewise, and this is during the complete whole cycle. When we talk about this non-clinical drug development studies, so they are classified into the three: in silico, in vivo, and in vitro. When we talk about this in silico, the term in silico is used to define the experimentation when we perform such types of experimentation using computer or some softwares which are uploaded into that computers and is related to the more commonly. So in silico means here we use some computer, we use computers, some softwares, they are available online, that some softwares are developed by that particular sponsorer or company. And it this in silico defines the use of information in the creation of computational mode or simulations that can be used to make predictions, suggest hypotheses, and ultimately provide discoveries or advances in medicine and therapeutics. The advantages of these in silico studies are the speed. There is the speed in the execution. Means lot of structures came. There are some models are there, computerized models are there. They feed the drug structure into that model. Or model means they are having some receptor structure. So if they fit over that receptor, so they can say that this drug is useful. This new moiety is useful. If they not fit over that structure, they say that it is not useful, so they just discard it. So speed in the execution, low cost because only the softwares and computers are involved, no much that experimental lab is required. Then the ability to reduce the use of animals, so here we limits the use of animals. Now this computer aided drug designing is growing fast because results are fast, less number of animals are using, means less ethical issues are there related to that animals. The silico method accelerate the discovery of potential new drugs. Here, by doing all this speed up of execution, the potential new drug discovery is there. Then the design of in silico drug protocol prototypes ranges from the study of SAR until the toxicology and pharmacokinetic study, that is the ADME. Okay, then this methodology is used to map the therapeutic target structure and cover their three-dimensional structure. Say, for example, molecular docking is there. In that molecular docking, three-dimensional structures are used. So, what they do, they take the structure of that particular drug, which they synthesize in their lab. They feed into the computer and they match with the targeted sites. Say some receptor structures are there, so they are called as the molecular docking is there. So this is one type of uh, study, we can say that molecular docking. Then the next is the in vitro or ex vivo assay. Its name indicates these are carried out outside the living organisms, outside the body of the living organism in a controlled manner. Okay, so in vitro assay are performed in the early stages of drug discovery. So initially, so this in vitro test is indicator that they are used for the initial evaluation of biological activity. For this purpose, a variety of assay using lineage or primary culture cells of human or marine organs are used. So what they do, they first take the drug. After the synthesis of that drug, various cell lines are available. Say liver cell lines, particular skin cell lines, or brain cell lines. Such types of cell lines are there. Some cell lines are from the human source or from the marine source are there. So interaction of that particular biological moiety with such types of cell lines are studied, and it is called as the in vitro. So here no organs or no animals are used. So through these in vitro assays, it is possible to observe the activity of the substance upon different features such as the induction of the cell death, means when we use that drug over that cell get death, or there is the proliferation in the cell, or change in the gene expression, changes in the protein profile of that particular cell lines, some biochemical doses of mediators, change in the cell cycle assessment, multi-drug resistance potential, and others. All these parameters are studied, or all these results we get during this skin study. So how we go for this in vitro study? We develop this moiety, cell lines are available, we study this drug over that cell lines, and we get the results. So the in vitro evaluation carried out in cell or in an individual target such as enzymes. If the cells are there or some enzymes are there, enzymatic reaction of that particular drug is studied, can eventually provide the false result. For this reason, the candidate drug should also be evaluated by ex vivo model. So what we study, that using that cell lines or some enzymes, so many a times false results are there. So to judge the results got during this cell line study or enzyme study, ex vivo models are used. Ex vivo means what? Some biological part get excised or taken, and it is studies carried out in vitro. A small number of animals are used for this biological material harvest. Say we take just the smooth muscle from that rat, or some GI part, or airway part, urinary tract part, or blood vessels, or brain, or liver, or kidney. Such parts are taken, and this over that part study is carried out. So now recently 3D printing of tissues and organs has been developed. So this 3D printing, here again we not use such living parts, only the 3D part of that organ, 3D structure or the 3D image of that part, that particular tissue or organ is used, which is having that characteristics of the functions similar to that original organs. Then in vivo, so in this study, they are performed through experimentation using a whole living organism such as animals, humans, or plants. So in this in silico, what we use computers. Some softwares are uploaded into that computers. We develop a structure is fed into that computer, and this computer match that structure with the targeted site. Say some protein structures are there fitted into that computer softwares are there, protein structures are fitted, whether our drug binds with that particular proteins or not is studied. So this is the in silico. So it is very speedy, low cost, and there is less number of animals are used. Then in vitro or ex vivo, in this in vitro we use some cell lines or some enzymes, and we study the interaction of that drug with that cell lines or the enzymes, and many a times this result may be false. So we to check this result, we go for that ex vivo models. So in that ex vivo model, we take some parts like muscles, kidney, liver, and we do study in vitro. Nowadays that 3D structure is also there, it is also 3D printing is also available. So this 3D printing, what this 3D printing do, they develop a real structure of that particular organs, which is having the similarity to that human organs. Then in vivo already use here, whole animals or living parts or the human beings are used in this in vivo study. So we discuss about the regulatory, in that regulatory requirement, non-clinical drug development. So in next lecture we will go more topics.